Jeremy here, Jeeps Unlimited, 303-666-9020. This is a low-grade frame, 6-cylinder YJ. Let's say it right off the bat. It has issues. I normally would not even list something like this, but we have been so low on inventory that this is what it's come to. If it's something you can use, great. It's 800 bucks. It's basically what we would charge if we were to cut it up. And we can do that. If you decide you want to buy it and tell me to cut it somewhere, the only thing that was going to save you is shipping. That's an option. So I left these in the back and I wasn't going to mess with them and just lop things off when we had a chance. But this frame itself is solid, but there are some things, and they're major things. So if you're not handy with tools, welding, stuff like that, this is not a frame for you. If you don't have a good shop at your disposal, probably not a frame for you if you're not going to do the work yourself. If you're looking for a rock crawler frame, this is probably an ideal frame. Not to say you couldn't use it on a Jeep. You definitely could, but it definitely has some things. So first and foremost, as I say in all my videos, I'm going to tell you everything on this frame, the good and the bad, as if you're standing here next to me having a conversation, okay? So you're not going to miss anything. I just listed one that was also a lower grade frame, but not as low grade as this, and the main reason this has got a bend in it. And I just put it up, and it actually had a little bit more, like these were gone on the top of them. So it needed a little bit more repair work as far as that goes, but it was a straight frame. This one has got, the front is almost beautiful. All the paint on it, that black is all factory, and that's all from, 35 plus years ago. So pretty impressive. That's always kind of wallowed out, so I'm not real worried about that. The bumper holes are actually good on this one, both sides, and yep, trying to stay out of the mud a little bit on this. But so there's some good on it for sure, and the mounts are in the right place. So this would be an ideal front if you needed a front and you wanted to do a 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder swap. You could actually, this would be a good frame to use for that. You could either cut it off or you could use it and just tweak it. Ironically, with the bend that this frame has, and you can tell from the photos that it's hard to see where this bend is, this frame it pulled just fine on the Jeep. It did not, there wasn't anything bound up or anything. So who knows? It's hard to say when or where it happened, but nonetheless, it's there. And I'll point it out here in just a second. But here's, we got a little bit of, getting thin on the top of this area. Super common to happen. Matter of fact, that's already been repaired. That's not factory. That side is completely torn, where these are shock mounts. So that one will need to be replaced. And we can get those if you don't have them. You probably have them on your frame, so they're probably okay. But this area is notorious. They didn't put out any area to clean these out, and so they just trap. They pack, trap, and they rot out. On a grade A, that's not how it is, but unfortunately on one of these lower grades, it is going to be that way. The rear above your gas tank, this is usable. It's solid. It does have a couple places getting weaker on the edges here. Okay. Now, one thing I want you to look at, because I'm going to flip it, or I'm going to show you here in a second. I'm going to lift it up. The back half of this frame looks okay, right? Not true, and you kind of see it a little bit here. The back half of this frame is probably going to need to be a complete, well, it depends on, again, your skills. If you can plate it, that's probably the way to go. Otherwise, if yours is decent, replace it. It really depends. But again, from this angle and even there, it's okay. You start seeing it a little bit there. Basically, the rear end of this frame, and probably there was a shit ton of, excuse my French, a ton of dirt packed in this thing. It probably just is what did it. It caught here, which is nice in a way, because normally they catch here and it rots that part out. But this frame actually is pretty solid there. So that's what we're looking at here. I'm gonna raise it up here in just a second to show you that guy. You out of here? You out? Are you? Okay. So I'll show you the front here real quick, and then I'll try to show you this bend real quick here if I can get it up in the air. I might have to. That's how hard this one is to tell. So again, nice front all the way to here. Now this one is tweaked, and there is a reason. They actually have a factory bend here. I think it's here. I'll have to look at it. I'd seen it when I was under it. We spec them. Spec'd out actually almost spot on. It really, maybe a hair, but if I wouldn't have noticed it in the visual, and that's part of the reason I do these videos even for myself, I want you to know what you're getting. So that's, this would have still been a fairly low grade because it has some other issues, but I probably wouldn't have discounted as much when they're bent like this, I don't even like listing them, but again, it's definitely usable to somebody in some way, shape, or form, I'm sure of it. And because they've gotten so hard to get, I'm just not throwing anything away anymore. It's just, and if you're looking for grade A right now, your option would be a 4-cylinder, move the mounts up, which I can tell you how to do. It's not super hard, but I have photos at the bottom of this. So the bend is here. It's actually on the passenger side, so you can just barely see the kink. Okay, it does have a factory bow, this bend out here, right? That's actually how it's supposed to be, and this one does that, but it bevels way out. It's funny because the bottom and the top, it goes down a little bit up here. I mean, you can tell right where it kind of pinches itself, but it's in the outside. I mean, I don't think you could actually even tell on the outside. So anyway, it is what it is. That's what you're looking at in that one. Otherwise, the bottom is pretty clean on this frame. Even the holes down here, nothing broke off. That's nice. These always break off. And most of the material you're seeing here and here is just from the belly pan, because there's actually no material loss in the frame here. We scope them anyway, just see, make sure there's nothing that we're seeing on the outside, nor, you know, in an area that's like, looks great here, that's not, you know, doing something weird on the inside. This frame checked out. Everything that's, you know, this, a lot of scaling, not real deep scaling though. It's actually pretty solid down through here. Nice and solid. We'll pull these just to make sure, but I don't think we'll find anything there. This, on the other hand, is where so we're looking about, I would say, to the hole maybe. It's actually not that far, but maybe I'd say 12 inches at most, probably about 6 halfway. And same thing on this side, right there. So that whole area back there. So, okay, so $800 on this frame, just like I did the other one. And each its got its own thing, so you'll just have to kind of figure out if there's something you want to deal with over the other one, if the other one's even available when you look. And if not, give me a call and I'll see what I can dig up. A grade A frame is going to run you $2,300 unless we raise the prices, and we've had the prices there for quite a while, so I don't anticipate doing that unless, you know, push comes to shove. So 303-666-9020, partsbreakers.com. I appreciate you taking a look at it.